Hello, and welcome back to the NDA Podcast. I am your lone host today, Kevin, and I am joined by someone who has guested, I guess, somewhat frequently on the podcast, Sir William. How you doing, Will?
Hello, I'm quite good. It is a pleasant spring day up in the Boston metropolitan area.
Fair, unless you have allergies, which for me, it is not a pleasant day.
That sounds very unpleasant.
It has been rough these past couple of days, but we're surviving. If I have to cough or sneeze or anything, I do apologize in advance. However, we are here to go over the NDA Scarlet and Violet Season 1 awards. Very exciting. Lex and Justin could not join us today as they are busy.
Lame.
But it felt appropriate to bring on my finalist in the NDA season, William, on with me.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah, it makes sense. I would say we had a pretty good season this too. So some better than others, but it'd be like that sometimes.
Hey, we did
We did pretty decent. But yeah, without further ado, we should jump straight in and start talking about some of the awards. So we have, I think we don't have any new ones this year. Maybe one. We have.
Couldn't remember for the life of me.
I think the only new one is, I'll get to it when we get to it. But we have all NDA first team, all NDA second team, these are just Mons, not coaches. All of these are Mons, not coaches. All NDA B tier, D tier, support, and defense team. And then we have the awards that were voted on by the public, which are Rookie Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, which is a Mon award for the best B plus C tier, Free Agent of the Year, which is best Mon that was picked up during the season, best match of the season, best storyline of the season. And I believe the new award is luckiest person. We'll go luckiest coach. Luckiest coach of the season. I think that's a new one. Biggest button clicker. Running it back. And then we have
very important award.
Yeah, very important award. Then we have, of course, coach of the season, MVP, and DPOY. So, without further ado, Will, would you like to start us off by discussing some of the NDA all first team?
All right. So for the first season of Scarlet and Violet, our NDA first team consists of Garchomp from the London Lichen Rocks, Don Bozo from the Granite State.
Oh, I forgot we didn't change the names on the top. Oh, whoops. Yeah.
I was just gonna read them. I'll read it loud and proud. Annihilate from the South Jersey Swoobats, King Gambit from the Glasgow Gengars, Armor Rouge from the Moss Deep City Mudkips, and most importantly of all, my good friend Gargaades of the Boston Red Sox.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, so I guess we can go down the list.
Yeah,
Garchomp, for obvious reasons, is here. Gummy's Garchomp, I believe, led the league in kills.
Yep.
Let me
pull
up the doc real quick.
Jayster's was number 10. So both Garchomps were top 10.
Kaylee's.
Oh, Kaylee's Garchomp.
Yeah. 18 kills, and Gummy's had 31 kills, which is just... And there is a reason that Earthquake was number 1 in KOs by a landslide with 72.
Oh my... Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of kills.
The next was Terra Blast, but with 49. 72 for Earthquake between, and that's, there's two Garchomps up there. We talked about Dozo, with Dozo clicks Earthquake a lot, so rightfully so, Garchomp. I mean, it's hard to not justify putting certain Pokemon that are high up in kills as just first team LNDA. You obviously want to base it on a couple things. Which is why some ones that are higher up on the kill list are not in the first team. I know your Garg is a little lower on the kill list, but it's its impact on the season and its annoyingness, hence Gargades,
It was the last mon standing.
every game. If you go through of the season and if you scroll through Will's replays and Riolu's, but yours is here. I would say, if you go to their replays and they won the battle at the end, you'll just see the stupid stack of rocks sitting there at the it'll say
loud and proud.
Will the kid won the game, and if there's a guard sitting right there on the screen still, so, which is fair enough. Shout out my Annihilate. My Annihilate made it. Sorry, Wex. My Annihilate was better.
For the record, Wex has got more kills than yours.
Yes, so. It did. We did discuss. He was a part of this decision. So I did not.
Okay.
I did not give Annihilate the award based solely on myself.
I mean, I don't know what you changed on the stock. I'm looking at right before I got here.
No. Lex has to edit this. He will be there as my witness. Yeah, I mean, Annihilate, I think rightfully so, was a fantastic second pick. Look, like the draft was so long ago, it feels like, but I just and I hadn't played any tournaments, done any extensive research, but I knew at second overall, you want to just pick something that's just super solid. You can't go wrong. It's not going to be there when it comes back to you. There's not going to be an instant synergy, even though I did get Mousehold on the way back. But a mon that can stand alone and do its own things, and Annihilate was so good, so good. And I think same thing with a King Gambit on Phoenix's team, so solid. I love King Gambit. I don't know about you, but I think King Gambit, despite having Annihilate on my draft league team, I think King Gambit is my favorite mon to use in this series. These new
especially games. With Terra. Terra just makes the easiest out to Bisharp was always literally any fighting move, dead. Then enter King Gambit that can just Terra flying, and I mean, Phoenix used it so incredibly well this season.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's so interesting to think about how good these mons would be if they couldn't just change their typing.
Yeah,
you would say, Pokemon with 4 times weaknesses are hard to use just because in draft you can kind of cater to that. But I know Justin, every week someone brought Terra Fairy to deal with Hydreigon.
Yeah,
and it's you kind of it's so easy to manipulate that, but then his own Hydreigon just Terra's Poison or Terra Steel, and it's well, then what? So it is. Well,
even Garg. I mean, part of the reason it's been so good is because it can change its god awful defensive typing.
Yeah, Rock isn't the best defensive typing. I mean, it has its moments.
I mean, in Sandstorm, it can get the job done a little better, but I usually, even if I had Sand, I would just prefer to Terra it anyways.
Yeah. What would you say was your number one used Terra type on Garg this season? Was it Fairy?
Oh gosh, I
feel I
bounced around a lot.
Maybe it's finals bias, but I feel like it was. If I recall Fairy.
I can even just mid game scroll through here.
You have all your team saved?
All right, against your boy, it was Fairy. I never actually used the Terra Ghost against Quartz, but I had it. I was bringing that cursed Terra Ghost for the Dondozer.
Yeah.
I see a water. I got a dragon. I really bounced around with it. I probably Fairy. I had Fairy against Justin. Resist the fighting. Yeah, that looks like the most in water, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's all matchup dependent, obviously, but sometimes you I would say
early season I brought Grass a bunch too.
Grass is really good on it, arguably. I like Grass.
The one thing with Grass was sometimes it felt like I never needed it because you couldn't put Garg to sleep anyways.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what have we not talked about? I mean, Dondozo obviously is it's just been an absolute menace since Scarlet and Violet started. And I mean, I know like everyone was kind of staying away from it in draft because they're like, oh, but people can prep for it. But then you give it to someone like Quartz and it just absolutely destroys everyone every time.
Yeah, I like to give Quartz a lot of credit because he also was not afraid to use it by itself without the Tatsugiri. And like devoting both your S tiers, like we know how good it was, so you have to make Tatsu and Dozo the S tier. Like you got to have them both in that category, and Quartz used it obviously really well together, but he used it very well separately too.
They're both like, I would argue, very.
If they didn't,
they're not S tiers on their own.
Yeah,
but they'd still be like high B, low A in my.
I would say you could argue for A tier on their own, honestly. So like,
I mean, when he drafted it, he was originally thinking just getting Tatsugiri for like a strong Storm Drain mon, but then he was like, well, Dondozo's here anyways, so might as well.
Might as well. And it led the Naranha Academy in KOs this season.
Yeah.
So shout out to Dozo. I hate Dozo. Amane I almost hate as much as Dozo is Swamp's Armor Rouge.
Oh my god, this thing was terrible.
Dude, it was so annoying. I hate Psy Spam. And his team was so annoying, and obviously he had the Ndidi with it. Like I don't know I don't remember which one he picked first, but like you knew it was coming on the way back. What the other like he picked one of them, and it was like, all right, someone come on, pick the other one.
And
like,
no one did. No one did. But then if you don't get the other one, then you don't have the synergy.
Yeah, so it's like
he probably got Ndidi first because Ndidi is good, regardless.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, that's what I would do if it was me. I'd take.
If I saw someone pick Armor Rouge first, I'm like, Ndidi's like, please get Ndidi first because at least you can put Ndidi on other teams.
Yeah,
Armor Rouge you can put on other teams, but it definitely struggles to stand out without Ndidi.
Yeah,
but, I mean, Swamp just destroyed everyone this season with Armadidi, and it was it sucked. I'm gonna be honest.
I think I took it to a game 3, maybe. I don't remember.
I could have, but I choked because I got crit turn 1, and I forgot I had wide guard.
Yeah, very true.
So that was very sad.
Well, shout out to Justin for having the perfect team to counter Swamp in the playoffs.
No kidding.
So it was very fortunate that Justin and Swamp played in playoffs because we didn't have to play a Swamp. Well, I didn't have to play a Swamp. You wouldn't have had to play him until the final, but I don't know who you would rather play, me or Swamp, but either one of them, I'm sure, was not easy.
I'm not gonna lie, definitely you. I'll take the guy I beat 2-0 over the one I lost to 2-0.
Whoa, that was early. Week 1, we didn't. That was.
I will say my matchup was definitely a lot better against you than Swamp.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Very fair.
All right.
Yeah, that wraps up all NDA first team, and we can move into the second team, where we have Goldango from Ryder's team. We have Annihilate from Wex's team, so we have the second Annihilate. We have Pellybolt and the all NDA second team. We have Garchomp Bellybolt of Germ's team, of course, the Aya Annihilates. Garchomp from Kaylee's team. We have Torkoal from Mac's team, and we have Dragapult from your boys, Denver Nummels. Goldango was the first pick in both divisions.
Yup.
And I think it was interesting how both coaches struggled a little bit despite having arguably the best mon. Like, I guess it was early doors, right? And the Goldango was like all over the place on ladder and like in YouTube videos and everything for like the right reasons. Like we're in Series 3 now, and Goldango still really hasn't. It's like not top 10 in usage, but it's up there for sure. Don't sleep on Goldango ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the best mons. I mean, its ability is the single best ability, maybe in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
just not being able to use any status moves. But I think when you're in draft, that translates to, okay, I just won't bring status moves, and it becomes a lot less, useful than, climbing ladder with it.
Yeah, it's like...
So, I mean, it's
draft, you're just trying to get rid of it as fast as possible at that point. Like, you're just hyper offense. It, which Goldengo's speed is a little bit to be desired, so, that's fair enough.
But, I mean, it's still number 3 in kills.
Yeah, it still finished 26 kills, which is...
Make It Rain is a disgusting move.
Yeah, it's so disgusting. Like Ghost and Steel is such a busted typing, and the fact that Goldengo has its special attack and like its moveset and it's everything going for it. It's so busted, like rightfully so.
Yeah,
I think if Mal didn't take it number 1, I think I would have taken it over Annihilate. So
I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I was picking Giraffe number 1 no matter what, but
I mean, it worked. I don't know if I was all for that strategy, but it ended up working.
Yeah, I think it worked very well.
I would say.
Lex's Annihilate. I mean, same idea as your Annihilate, just Goatmon of Gen 9.
It is so good. Like Rage Fist, Goldengo has the most broken ability. Rage Fist is the most broken move in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the fact that you can you can bulk up as many times as you want, but if you're in a bad situation, like with like maybe a special attacker or something, you can switch out and you lose your setup that you worked for. You don't lose the Rage Fist stack.
It's so dumb. It's the dumbest move. It needs to be nerfed in Gen 10.
It is so busted that the Rage Fist doesn't go away.
Part of me was hoping that it was like a glitch, like remember how Order Up used to give you a stat boost? Even when you protected. Part of me was hoping that was a glitch and they just like patch out Rage Fist, and so it would get reset when you switched out. They never did.
Never.
And it's I struggled very hard to prep for this in the finals. Yeah, it's such an annoying mon, and you both used it really well.
It is a great mon. Next is the mon that stole the show, I would say, of the NDA.
Absolutely.
Germ's Belly Bolt.
Spy Ops.
Yeah, Spy 0. Belly Bolt just like... So I was like kind of big on Belly Bolt. I really wanted it at the start of the draft. I wanted to go... I was leaning towards a Trick Room team with like Torkoal, and I wanted Oranguru.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I wanted Oranguru and Belly Bolt for the Trick Room Bulldoze weakness policy proc electromorphosis synergy. So I was really big on Belly Bolt coming in, but maybe not the way Germ was using it. But Germ showed that electromorphosis, a bulky Belly Bolt, and parabolic charge is
busted,
dude.
Absolutely busted.
It was a transaction, and it finished 5th in Naranhan kills. It got 18 kills on the season, like absolutely crazy. Is a B tier mon. Yeah, this is a B tier mon, and every week Germ brought it. You had to beware of the Belly Bolt. Like it was crazy.
It was tied with the with Kaylee's Garchomp. In kills,
which was on Kaylee's team all season. So it's
yes,
like put that in perspective. Like it's so crazy. So well, speaking of Garchomp, that's next on the list. Like it's just another mon that was so pivotal for Kaylee's team. Again, like both. I thought it was funny that both people that picked like had the wheel pick at 9, like just real quick took Talonflame Garchomp. Like,
yup.
Like
and can't blame them.
No, you can't. It was free. Like that synergy.
Such a good combination of Pokemon.
Yeah, the synergy was so good, and it's a shame they had to match up in the playoffs. In like, I wouldn't even say it was the mirror because that was like the only thing they had similar. But
they're such potent like mons though that like they are huge even right now.
They came to every match, and they're still making waves in competitive. Like Garchomp even came back a little bit in Series 3.
Yup.
And it kind of went away in Series 2 because of its speed tier into Chi-Yu. So it's like, and Talonflame's always been it's still the best Tailwind setter in the game, arguably.
It's surpassed Murkrow by far. Murkrow's definitely fallen off for Talonflame.
Yeah, very quickly. Unless you just don't have a Dozo answer, unless you're still not running Haze Palafin and you don't have a Dozo answer, maybe you still throw Murkrow on your team. But there's other ways around it. Torkoal.
Yes.
Max Torkoal on his dual weather team.
This destroyed me.
Real? Oh yeah, that was one of your
absolutely ripped me up. Like, Mac is definitely one of the most underrated coaches in this league, in my opinion. Like he built this dual weather team, and it was just so hard to deal with. And I mean, especially because we were playing Series 1, like you set up Trick Room and then click Eruption with Torkoal, and that's just it. You're done.
Like as soon as I saw Terrestrialization was the mechanic, and like everyone's brain started like, dude, this is the most broken thing of all time. Like they still keep their stab, blah blah blah. I don't like. My brain just went, dude. Like things like Torkoal that are already busted in the sunlight because of the boost. When they could just Terra Fire and get another boost, I was like, dude, this thing is gonna be
the first ladder team I went for was a Torkoal Trick Room Sun team.
Yeah, like. And then it synergized with the Paradox Pokemon so perfectly, like proccing their ability. Like,
yeah. Hey, you know what? Mac had Mischievous down there. Not quite Fluttermane, but getting there.
I don't think he ever brought it, unfortunately.
No, I don't think he did either.
Yeah, Mischievous is a sleeper in C tier. There's like an actually good meta team going around with like Eviolite Mischievous. Like I can't.
That's great.
It was like, I think Aaron featured it on his channel. It was like
I didn't watch the video, but I saw the thumbnail with Mischievous.
Yeah, I think it was actually like kind of busted, which is like really cool. So he didn't get to bring it, unfortunately. He didn't get to use like the trapping. I think he got it for Paris Song, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably, yeah.
Didn't get to use it to its full advantage, but he did use Torkoal to his full advantage.
Torkoal was used very well.
Yeah, I feel like he could have synergized a little better with it. Like, but overall, his dual weather team was still really like dangerous.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if he had a Chlorophyll Mon that was better than Leafeon,
yeah, for sure,
it would have been kind of nutso.
Like Lilligant was there, and he had Serena, which
I mean, Serena's good in its own right. If you have the Trick Room, then Serena to block priority. I mean, Farigiraf was doing the same thing, and it's really good for Trick Room for that reason.
Until you zone in that's their only ability, and then they run Sap Sipper against you, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's that ability, right?
I mean, you can.
Oh man! But despite maybe not having the best synergy, Torkoal popped off.
Absolutely.
Which you set up Trick Room. Whoa. Who dying? Who dying from a
hope you have Wide Guard on something.
Literally, like, and then the final mon from all NDA second team was your boys Dragapult, which again another team that like I didn't see the synergy coming into it, and Dragapult honestly hasn't done well until it actually it was on the most recent regional winning team, but it hasn't really done well at all this format, and coming into it I didn't really expect much from the synergies of his team, but your boy is such a good coach, and
that's definitely what it comes down to. He's just good.
He's very good, and Dragapult obviously put in work. I mean, it misses Dynamax I think a lot
for sure,
but it's so good still. Like, it's a pseudo at the end of the day, right? Like, you can run a physical or special, even support. It has really cool
Dragon Darts is also just such a great move.
Yeah, Dragon Darts is very good.
Like the fact that it if an opponent protects, it will redirect itself to hit the other mon instead.
Yeah,
just so obnoxious.
Yeah, it's so crazy, and he used it really well. I guess it's we've seen Dragapult and Indeedee do well. Like, I mean, that was in Sword and Shield Dynamax. Like, I know Rooster used Dragapult and Indeedee really well together.
Yeah.
But it's with having Zoroark as a thing, and Rapska to Revival Blessing. I mean, he just made it all work, and Dragapult was the star of the show. So very rightfully deserved of the last spot in all NDA second team, for sure. And we move on to all NDA B tier team, if you want to bring us in, Will.
Yes, sir. So making on multiple teams this season, we got the GOAT Bellybolt, also on B tier team, since it is a B tier. We have Riders Noivern. Kev, your Rotom Frosty there made it.
Shout out Rotom.
Medicham from the Tennessee Torkoals. Mabostiff from the Maine Mudkips, and another Rotom form, Rotom Fan, from Kaylee and the New Orleans Ninetales.
I just remember going through this list and trying to figure out like what the last mon was gonna be, and we like completely overpassed that. Kaylee's Rotom Fan had 16 kills on the season. We were like, oh, wait, what? We were like, wait, well, how is this not already on the list?
I was literally just looking at the kill leaderboard, and
we put the first.
Oh my god, that thing is better differential than Dragapult.
Yeah, like we put the first 5 mons in the list, and we were like, all right, well, who's like going in here? And we're like, I think Wex looked at the list. He was like, why is it not Rotom Fan? I'm like, what do you mean? And he was like, it got 16 kills. We're like,
wow.
We're like, huh? Since when?
I mean, the Rotoms all are just. I mean, obviously, when you think of like, the more like meta-defining Rotom forms, you're thinking of, Rotom Wash and Rotom Heat. But I mean, all the Rotom forms like really benefited from terrestrialization. They're already just great defensively, and they have just such a solid support move pool, and they hit really hard. They're just really good all-around mons, so I'm not surprised to see multiple Rotoms here.
Yeah, and like Kaylee ran it really cool with the Pachirisu synergy. Like obviously, it's like immune to the earthquakes. So like he's got another flying type. Oh, sorry, she has another flying type with Garchomp, and like it was just such a good add to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like it did put in so much work, so many kills. And same thing with my the Rotom synergy on my team with the Blizzard spam. Like it picked up a lot of kills. Literally just clicking Blizzard. Like
I was so scared of that Rotom.
Blizzard go burr.
I was very happy when I didn't see it in the finals. Because it was just that much of a. I mean, let Bolt be. I think other than Arctozolt, which isn't in the game right now, it's the only mon with Bolt Beam Stab.
With what? Yeah.
Electric and Ice, which is insane coverage.
Yeah, those two. Even like a lot of just like normal electric types will like Terra Ice for that coverage, like
Bellybolt in some cases.
Yeah, like we may or may not get to later. But yeah, Noivern, underrated mon for Rider all season.
Terra Normal Boom Burst went burr quite a few times.
Yeah, picked up 14 kills on the season. Was high up there for B tiers. Finished top 10 in UVA on so had to be up there.
When I would prep Rider, it was definitely one of the mons he made the best use of after like Goldengo. And also with the Boom Burst strats, it also synergized really well with Goldengo because Ghost type to be immune to Boom Burst.
Yeah, 100%. And shouts out to Medicham. Medicham had to make this list. I don't know. It played 21 sets. It came 7 weeks. Jaster brought it every week. It was like basically the mascot of his team pretty much. And it picked up 14 kills along the way. Like we felt like we just had to include it here. Like Medicham was there every week putting in work.
It's very fun.
It is a very fun one. You can use it in a bunch of different ways. I mean, obviously it's fake out and other stuff.
Did he ever bring the skill swap pure power?
No, I tried. I think I tried to get him to do it, and he just like.
I love that set.
But it was.
That's fun.
It's busted. It's so busted. I had a lot of fun. In the IC one-shotting Flutters with pure power Dragapult and Astonish. That was fun. But yeah, Medicham had to be included on this list, and the final spot goes to your fellow Garg user and Mabostiff.
I love Mabostiff. He's such a good boy. I mean, this is just personal, like...
You can't have played through the game You can't have played through the storyline and like not automatically have like a soft spot for this Pokemon.
And if you don't know, go buy the game and play it.
Facts. Pokemon has a good storyline for once.
And I mean, dark types are my favorite type. I'm a big dog guy, so gotta love Mabostiff. And gotta love that Riolu used it really, really well.
Honestly, he should have beat me with it in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's really strong. Like, it has a really solid attack stat, a decent speed tier at 85, and Intimidate. It's a dark type, so it's immune to Prankster. He terrored it quite a few times during the season that I remember.
Yeah, he went for like Terra Fairy, like play rough stuff. Like Terra Fairy is like obviously like just like a good defensive typing, and against play rough as a dark type, like make sense.
Yep. And he also made really good use of the move Jaw Lock, which locks in Mabostiff and its opponent, so he could do huge damage, and then an opponent couldn't like switch out to a safer alternative. Which I think was a big reason Mabostiff was so successful.
Very, very true. And with that, we have our all NDA C tier team. And first mon on the list, pains me to speak about it, is the first two mons on the list pain me to speak about it. But yo, Justin, we're like in the middle of a recording session, bro.
Hi guys.
Hey Justin, we're gonna talk about your Glalie.
Yeah, wait, Justin, talk about your Glalie real quick. It's all NDA C, the first mon on all NDA C tier.
So Glalie was really good for me because of the fact that I was able to abuse Moody. Now that, if you're not aware what Moody does, for a C tier mon, that's an absolutely uber broken ability. It gives you 2 boosts and 1 defect. So it'll +2 on one statistic and -1 on the other. But if you get the right rolls and the right luck and you're out there for long enough, eventually over time, 2 is greater than 1. So you'll have all buffs and no defects and no debuffs. So basically, you give that to Glalie, you give it a Terra type into the matchup, and you press Protect with leftovers and Substitute. You are golden. And it gives you a bunch of boosts, and then you're able to do a bunch of damage. And
especially when it's the right boosts, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, especially
you are lucky enough to get.
When you're up against a Hypno and you need a little bit of a speed drop, and you get the speed drop, and then you're able to dodge the body press. Oh man, it goes wonders. It goes wonders. But yeah, that's the only way that I was able to ever make it into playoffs. So I got to thank Glalie for that, and hence why it's on the all NDA C tier team. All right, I'll see you. Peace.
Bye, Justin. That was literally perfect timing.
Yeah,
that was not scripted. I would like to tell the people.
I was like so concerned when I heard someone join.
Yeah, I heard someone join.
I was like, what is going on? But yeah,
that was perfect. All right, so now I'd like to talk about the actual best mon of the entire franchise, and its name is Spidops. And I would like to say that Germ actually used Spidops incredibly well. Not just when he had a belly bolt named Spidops, but like actual Spidops. It got kills against my team. I was a victim of this great and powerful almighty bug. And for the record, Kevin, hear me out. You gotta give him the props for the red card stakeout set. That was one of the most heat things I have seen maybe all season. That was my favorite set, I think.
I will only concede that point. That is the only point I will concede about Spidops. It pained me so much to look at his numbers this season and have to include him in this list. But for sure, that set where the red card. What dark move did he click?
I think he clicked Shadow Claw.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
into Goldengo.
It was like Goldengo. He took Goldengo and maybe was it twice Goldengo? I don't know. I thought it was 2 different mons he took with it.
It was a beautiful sight to behold.
Like, it was actually crazy. Oh, because Mao also had Dragapult, right?
Yeah.
It was Goldengo and Dragapult both got hit with the red card Shadow Claw.
For the record, it has some tings. It has some really good priority moves. It has some really cool support moves.
I've only seen it work in singles because
is actually not bad in singles because it's one of the few sticky web setters available.
I saw like a Rocky Helmet sticky web bulky spy dop set, and I was like, bro, what is going on? And it was like actually not awful.
It is usable. So big one for the Spide Ops squadron there.
Let's move on, shall we?
All right. We love Spide Ops here. All right, Clodsire.
Another mon that I like. So this mon, I am a big Clodsire supporter. I think most people saw this Pokemon released and fell in love instantly. Another mon that is in C tier, but you know, it's good in singles, right? It's not bad.
It's really good in singles.
Yeah, so it just doesn't have that same, like in doubles it's a lot harder to use some of these bulky up boys when you can get like position. You can position way better in doubles, double into certain mons that have like bulk like this. It's got no speed stat, so it's like obviously it's a C tier, but it still offers like a decent, it's a water immunity. It's got decent things going for it. Decent.
Yeah,
damage.
I mean, Unaware was also really good.
Yeah.
Swamp used it as his go-to Hazemon a few times, so just using it that way for support was also really good for him this season, just getting rid of any sort of setup.
Yeah, 100%. He brought it a lot, like way more than I thought he would, so it was like a little bit of a, when he needed it, Clodsire was there. So definitely deserved spot on this list. Quirts and his Cryogonal, another Pokemon.
He loves that thing.
Yeah, he really does, and he uses it really well. Like it's got a decent, like again, it's frail. It's an Ice type.
But with Terra,
it's not awful. It has a decent speed tier and like Icy Wind and Freeze
and Killer
Fly.
Spadef, I want to add.
Yeah, it does have very good Spadef. Maybe a mon that could be placed towards a vote for B tier, but I think it's just like the Quartz diff.
It might just be the Quartz diff,
Yeah, which is like fair enough. I think all of Quartz's C tiers were like a little annoying at one point. Like I actually struggled a little bit against a Terra Fairy Dedenne when I played Quartz. But
I mean, Quartz is like the king of utilizing his C tiers to their fullest potential.
100%.
I mean, there are times where he would probably
bring
forego higher tier mons for lower tier mons.
Yeah, that is the Quartz diff. And Cryogonal was definitely the beneficiary of that.
Yep.
Very good mon this season for Quartz. Next on the list is
Wiggler.
This is like some definitely personal bias, I think, for this one. Why this is on the list. I lost Kaylee this season, and Wigglytuff messed me up, dude. Terra Fairy is like pretty decent in my team, like with good damage. Like I don't have a lot of. My resist was Fungus, which, it did as much as it could in Trick Room, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Like when I played Kaylee, and Wigglytuff put in work, and I was not ready for it. And Kaylee brought it a couple times across the season, and it did work against other people. So glad I'm not alone. I don't know if you had to face the Wigglytuff.
I did face the Wigglytuff.
Oh, okay.
It was a very close game. When he brought, I don't know if he brought the Wigglytuff both games, but I know game 2, he cut it really close. Wigglytuff, he brought a fake Tears Draining Kiss Wigglytuff, and I got very lucky with a crit Psychic, and lived on like 8% with my Farigiraf. But the Wigglytuff almost just destroyed me. So yeah, I mean he was also just creative, or she was also just creative in using Wigglytuff. Random support moves like fake Tears can really make the difference.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially in draft league when people just aren't expecting things like that.
Yeah, no one really knows what's going to happen when Wigglytuff hits the field because it does have
That's true.
certain thing. You're like, what does this thing do? And it does have a decent kit of support and damage. So especially if you brought an Intimidate mon, don't sleep on competitive either. That's dangerous. And to round out our all NDA C tier team, we needed one more mon, and we landed on the Luminion from
my fish. I loved my fish.
It was just a good it just finished your team. I feel like, you know, like it was just a good end piece to your already good team. Like, and it put in a lot of work across the season.
I think I was toying around. I think I originally drafted Quillfish here just because I like Quillfish and I thought I needed Intimidate. But then I was like, you know what's even better is if I can just redirect all the water moves going at my sand team. And Lumineon was chilling there in C tier. It has a really diverse support move set. It gets stuff like Encore and Tailwind. I think I brought a I don't know if I actually used it, but I remember bringing a Whirlpool set for when Griffin had Palafin to like lock it in and then debuff it with and then just encore it into a water move so it couldn't do anything.
That's very cool.
It really surprised me with how much mileage I got out of it. And just Storm Drain is such a great ability, especially when you have very strong Pokemons like Garganacl that are weak to water moves, and you can just completely negate that.
Yeah, like having a sand team, like you had Garg, Hippo, Lycanroc, like a lot of things didn't want to take those water moves, so I think it just, you know, put the cherry on top for the team.
I do agree.
Sure.
All right. So with that, we move into our all support team. So, all of the best / most annoying support mons. We have both NDD females from Swamp and your boy.
Yeah, it felt bad to just give it to one of them. Like, we were like, and it felt bad taking up 2 spots on the list. We're like, you know what? Both of them.
Yeah.
Both coaches using DD females. Like, I mean, it's always going to be here, right? Like, it's a first round pick.
It was the best support mon last generation. Probably still the best support. I would say probably the best support mon this generation. Team dependent.
Don't sleep on the one underneath it. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, I was actually looking at the 1-2 beneath it, but
no, we don't. Fair. But yeah, in DD female, no one, especially next to Armarouge, like no one wants to deal with it.
Or Dragapult, apparently.
And for some god-given reason, never patched, never discussed, and DD gets Trick Room now. So it's like, it's adding, being able to set the Trick Room to its toolkit is like so annoying. so annoying. Like it used to just enable. Now like you can protect that mon and just set up the Trick Room within DD, and it's like, oh. All right,
it's a very and they knew like this mon was just like so potent at the World Championships at the end of last generation, and they were like, you know what, let's make it even better, because they thought getting rid of Expanding Force for it was too much of a nerf.
It's like, and they gave Expanding Force to one of the most broken special. Don't get me started. But
yeah, all right, enough of this.
Like, I just it's so annoying, and the less said, the better. Obviously, it's on number 1.
All right, Kev. These next two are
we got the 1-2 tandem right here. Obviously, my team has Annihilape, and I think Annihilape is a great mon. Obviously, why I picked it second overall. I think it's standalone even good. But it just, it hits that next level with the mouse hold next to it. Mouse Ape is a core that terrorizes most people if they don't have an answer for it. And having it in draft was arguably the most busted thing next to stupid Garganacl. Like I said, Rage Fist is the most broken move in the game. You could proc it with Beat Up. Mousehole gets the redirection, so Annihilate doesn't, once you already get the Beat off, Annihilate doesn't need to take any more hits.
Or get statused.
And yeah, true, very true. Mousehole has Follow Me, Encore,
Friend Guard,
just such a good Pokemon. Perfect on, I would say, on any team. Honestly, you could throw it on any team. And also, don't sleep on the damage either. Hot Bomb goes crazy. And then I also rounded out my support with Fungus, who's also on this list. I don't know how early I needed to take this mon, but I knew I wanted it like right away. Like since my team didn't go in the Trick Room direction, I wanted something that makes Trick Room setting for my opponent really, really annoying. Obviously everyone knows Amoonguss is arguably the most busted mon. It's so good every format, without question. The best grass type. Pollen Puff arguably is the most broken move in the game. But
that's a hot take, but it's a very good move. But
on Amoonguss, when
you put it next to something like your Annihilate, though, then it's really obnoxious.
The team that just won the EUIC tournament has the course. They're calling it FAP, which I think is hilarious, because it's Flutter Mane and then your Fire, Water, Grass core of Palafin, Arcanine, Amoonguss, and being able to switch in your mons, and then they eat hits, and you get the self pollen puff is so busted, and it's like a 90 base power special move that does damage to your opponent even, so it's not even awful damage. Like it does a crap ton to like Wo-Chien and things like that, which is why Wo-Chien's like not even a Pokemon.
Well, I think you killed my Farigiraf with
probably, dude.
At some point.
It probably does like 30.
Either that, or I'm getting PTSD from all my prep matches with Ryder, where he did it many times.
It probably does like 25% at least to don't sleep. Mm-hmm. But the best thing about Foongus is I can get it in B tier.
Yep.
Great value. Eviolite makes it bulky, and it has Regenerator. So like Amoonguss likes a berry or something, but you don't need it with the berry. Like you have Regenerator. And it has 50. The best thing about Foongus is its base 15 speed. Slower than Torkoal. So like if Trick Room's up, I have faster Spore in Trick Room with Foongus than like into Torkoal and stuff like that.
It's probably the slowest usable mon.
I think the only other one, and the word usable is, it's a tough word on this mon, but
okay, that's fair.
Pincurchin has 15 speed, I think, so I don't know how usable. Yeah. I know your opinion on Pincurchin. So.
Yeah, I hate that terrible Pokemon. Thank God I'm not seeing that anywhere.
So I think that's the only other mon that like matches.
It's the only one I see here.
In some, arguably a decent counter to Amoonguss too, because of Electric Terrain, but Foongus
and then it can just sit there and do literally nothing because it's Pincurchin.
They got rid of Rising Voltage, but Foongus was so good.
Yeah,
all season. I brought it most weeks. I would try and justify using mons below it on my team, and I just couldn't do it. It's so good. So I think rightfully both those mons are on this.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have Spiritomb from Justin's team. Another mon that I think under maybe biased because he was a part of the crew, but me and Wax agreed, of course. I mean, it's just a great Trick Room setter, and it was bulky with Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that.
And you gotta respect the ally switch.
Don't get me started.
With 3 immunities, it is a very good user of it.
A great typing, great bulk, good Willower, Trick Room setter.
Snarl for the special attack stat.
I think Justin used Taunt on it a little bit as pretty annoying. So I don't know if it's
prankster it.
It just got Trick Room this gen, right?
Yeah.
So with that in its toolkit, very, very good mon.
It also has priority for both of its stabs in Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch if you wanted to go that way. Its attack stat is actually very usable at 92 for each, so it has a lot of things it can do.
Very true. So overall, good mon and support. Next is Oranguru. Again, something I talked about wanting to draft. Helped Phoenix to a very nice record this season. Used it with... He had a pretty slow team. It was his predominant Trick Room setter. Was you could argue it could be an all defense team too, but I think it's the support it offers with Trick Room and instruct and stuff like that is like
yeah. I mean, he had the instruct eruption Torkoal strategy.
Yeah, which is just like what I wanted, low key. Like that was like his team is like kind of what I wanted my draft team.
His team is essentially like the Torkoal Oranguru Lilligant was the first team I ever built in Gen 9.
Yeah, and he's got the belly bolt on top of it. Like,
yeah,
that was the team I wanted, essentially.
And Cloudfire, dude.
Yeah, dude, literally, he had my team.
Tinka Tough. I know you wanted Tinka Ton, so
I
this
did.
This is your dream team, huh?
I was so sad when Mal sniped Tinka Ton, but you know maybe it was for the best. But yeah, Oranguru goes without saying, great support mon. And we gave the last spot to Murkrow. You know,
from
Wex didn't have from Wex. Wex didn't have a great season, but you know, Murkrow did Murkrow type things as it usually does. He also had the Fungus. Didn't use it like I did, unfortunately.
But what he did do with the Murkrow, which I thought was really fun, was pairing the Tailwind with Bramblegast.
Yeah, it was a great support.
Was an awesome combo because, for those who don't know, Bramblegast has this unique ability called Wind Rider, where if it's hit by a wind-based move or if Tailwind is set up, it gets an attack boost, and you can stack that. So even if Tailwind was up, Wex could literally click it again just to give Bramblegast a boost and do a lot of damage.
My favorite thing about that ability. My favorite thing about that ability is that like it's immune to Hurricane and Heat Wave and stuff like that. Like it's the immunity moves are like kind of crazy.
But not Air Slash. Fun fact. I got absolutely smacked around by that one time.
Yeah.
And was very sad.
But you know, Murkrow's arguably the best prankster / Tailwind setter. Not you know it. You know what Murkrow does. It's good.
It goes up and down with Talonflame.
Yeah. But I think rightfully so hits the last spot on this list.
Yep.
We can move
last
into
team.
You can bring us into the all defense.
All right, the all defense team. To no one's surprise, our good friend Gargades, Garganachi, Big Garg, the Undying Salt. For both myself and Riolu.
Yeah,
we've talked this mine to death.
Include both of you.
But I mean, you are just so fat. You pretty much can just. You have great natural defense, so you just put all your investment into special defense. You click Iron Defense to boost your defense even more. You put it next. I think we both had Prankster screens. I had Morgrim, he had Klefki to boost defenses even more. And then you sit there and you just click Salt Cure and Recover and just stall. Like I didn't know, you know, normally like you don't think of playing stall in doubles. It's actually a little more popular in the current meta right now than I think it ever was. But Garg is just such a good stallmon, and you know, click the odd body press every now and then with that 3 million defense once you've set up all your iron defenses. And I think the only other move I ever brought was maybe Wide Guard.
Yeah,
when I needed it.
You run iron defense, body press, self care, recover, protect. Like it's pretty.
I don't think I even brought protect. Like it doesn't need to protect. It's so bulky it just lives anyways.
Yeah, which is fair. Very fair. No one enjoyed playing. I had to play 2 of them in the playoffs. I got through one of them somehow, and then I didn't get through the final hurdle. But they were just both Gargs on both teams were just like so annoying to deal with. As we joked in previous seasons, how like Justin won with Gmax Lapras. We're like, all right, get in the ban. Demon's banned. I'm up for banning Garganackle next season. I think
you have to build around it. That's the thing with Garg.
I think I would have some support in that vote. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it again probably soon. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Annihilate, another mon in all the defense team. For me and Wex, didn't die all season. With bulk ups and support, you know,
and Drain Punch to recover its own HP. I don't think we talked about that last time, but
we didn't.
That's very annoying.
Drain Punch to get back HP is huge. It runs lefties and protect to stall. Annihilate is hard to take out. The only reliable way is that you hope it clicks Final Gambit, and then it takes itself out.
And then you win the finals.
Yeah, and then it takes itself out, and it's like, oof. But usually it takes out you'd hope it takes out a guard with it, but then it doesn't. It's like, okay, awkward. We got, of course, Dozo. I mean, not much can be said that hasn't already been said about how bulky with the boost Dozo is. Quite annoying to deal with.
So you can't set up on it.
Yeah, even like by itself without the Tatsugiri, it's a decently thick.
It's so fat. I mean, in singles, it's literally just used as a defensive wall. It's terrible to take down.
I mean, you run it's got 150 HP or something stupid like that.
I think 100 defense too. It's so fat.
Yeah, I mean, you want to hit it on the special side, but even then, when it gets +2 SPDF, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Honestly, I don't know what Game Freak was thinking, but that thing's busted. Got Farigiraf next, Will. I mean,
this was my first pick of the draft, and I don't regret it at all. And y'all made fun of me for drafting a giraffe, but I'm the champion, so y'all can suck it. Farigiraf is, I mean, first of all, it's a giraffe. It's incredible in that regard. Its name is a palindrome. Another reason it's incredible. And it also has an incredible ability to its support in Armor Tail, shutting down all priority moves. Unless you have a team without priority moves, in which case I run Sap Sipper and Catch Your Spores. But yeah, Farigiraf I just had
it. I think maybe we could have thrown it in here paired with the Morgrim.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like Farigiraf a lot of the time was also supported by those screens, and Will was able to sit there, do some damage.
Easy Trick Room setup.
Do some good damage, stay alive, and then when you eventually got rid of it, then Guard was still there in the back, and it was like, all right.
The combination of the two, I think, were just. I think they definitely supplemented each other very well. And Farigiraf was, I think, the best special attacker on my team as well. It has base 110 special attack.
Road spray.
Just normal stab is very underrated. It hits so much neutrally. And like you said, with throat spray to boost it, you're in pretty good shape.
For sure. Next we have the Gotharita from Max Team. I think it was
very annoying.
Unsung hero of Max Team. I think he brought it most weeks. Trapped you in, set Trick Room, stalled,
fake out.
Multiple matches, it got to set up Trick Room at least twice. It sat there forever. I feel a lot of the time with EV Light, it was so hard to get rid of Max Gotharita. Like I said, unsung hero of his team, I think, because it was his lone Trick Room setter to set up with Torkoal and stuff. So if he wasn't running Rain, that Gotharita was coming, and it was pretty much reliably setting up Trick Room due to its bulk. So definitely a good inclusion to this list, and we end it with the Belly Bolt, because that thing with Parabolic Charge
never died.
You'd
hit it, and then it would recover even more.
Because of the stupid electromorphosis,
Germ killed his own teammates and didn't care because the Belly Bolt was never dying.
Yeah, as long as Belly Bolt didn't die, it didn't matter, right? So, it's just such a good bulky mod, and it never the reliable recovery. I think Garg has recover. We got Dozo can run a rest set. Annihilate runs Drain Punch. Belly Bolt gets Parabolic Charge. That.
Which you don't think about that move a lot because it's just not commonly used. It hits your ally, but on a mon like Belly Bolt, and I also Germ would run a Terra Ground random mon next to it a lot of times too, to sort of avoid the Parabolic Charge. But I mean, it's the fact that it's a spread move that also recovers. You would literally just watch it do damage, recover, do damage, recover, do damage, recover 3 times in one turn, and it was insane.
Yeah, 100%. And so, again, rightfully deserving of this list. And that wraps up our teams. I think we went into pretty good depth about all of them. It took a while. And let's move through our individual awards. These were, I wouldn't say influenced by us at all. I think they were...
This was democracy at work.
Some of them had answer choices, but most of them were just the free will of the people, which is always fun having the, I mean, I feel like as admins,
I do love freedom.
Yeah, as admins and people that run the podcast, I feel like maybe it's good to get the people's opinion and their say lots of the time. So don't want to get narrow-sighted or anything. So we polled the people, and these are the awards that have come from it. Our first category is Rookie of the Year Coach, and we had 18 coaches this season, Will. 18.
That's a lot of coaches.
That's a lot of coaches. That's kind of crazy. And that came with 3 new coaches off rip, and then 1 to join us later as a sub. It was between Phoenix, Penny, Jaster, and Kaylee. And I think people probably just looked at the doc and saw the standings, but rightfully so.
It was well deserved.
Yeah, Phoenix is our Rookie Coach of the Year. I finished 6-3, like a really respectable season.
We brought up his top 3 Mons, Torkoal, King Gambit, and Oranguru.
Yeah.
Throughout either giving them awards or just talking about how well they performed. Really great team. And yeah, he had a really great season.
Yeah, finished right outside the top 2 of this division. Actually beating Riolu, who finished in the top 2. So played your boy week 1. So week one doesn't
very
count.
tough.
Week 1 doesn't count. He just had a good team, great season. Phoenix is a great coach, and he has been around a bit. He was in some off seasons, but this was his first season as like a full-time coach in the NDA, and
he made the most of it.
Yeah, very true. Very true. It went very well for him.
All right. Next up, we have 6th Man of the Year, which is the best B or C tier Mon. Give that lower tier Mon a little bit of love. And we already talked about it. We all hated it. We had our special guest talk about it earlier. It's Justin's Glalie that, like he said, just clicked protect and sub until he got lucky enough with his Moody boosts and then proceeded to just win games.
Yeah, for 100%. Like it actually single-handedly made Justin. He wasn't lying when he said it single-handedly got him a playoff spot.
Yeah, very true.
And
almost got him into finals.
Almost. I was ready for it. It just great value in C tier, and it's just like it's a win con if it goes well.
Yep.
Like it's honestly a great pick because. Hey, you build your team of you got your 5 Mons on there, and they're like, these Mons have a great matchup. Who do I need in that 6th spot? Let me throw Glalie on, and he could maybe win me the game. And that can transition us straight into our new award this year, which is the luckiest MFer, the luckiest coach.
And you already know.
This was voted on. Okay, there's no bias here.
The people have spoken.
And
we all hate Moody.
Because of certain Moody boosts that may or may not have went Justin's way this season. He has been, I think rightfully so, voted. Maybe he wouldn't agree with this, but he's not here to defend himself. So, Justin is our luckiest coach of the year award. And, who else really?
The finest of Moody boosts.
Yeah, the clutchest of clutch Moody boosts in certain scenarios to win games, and it's just Justin maybe historically is up there with the least amount of luck, but this season,
not in my experience, but
no, yeah, you guys have had some games where the luck has definitely went his way. I think I recall 1 or 2.
Five paras in a row.
Yeah, the para match.
Very sad.
I do remember the para match.
My first regular game in this league. So I fully endorse Justin getting this award.
As do I. Justin deserves it. Sorry, Justin. Get mad, bro. We got another theme of 2 awards back to back here that kind of go together. We have Best Free Agent Award, the FAOY, and this is for Mons that were picked up in the middle of the season that made a giant impact. And who bigger an impact with 18 kills and never dying is, of course,
Belly Bolt.
I mean, if it wasn't going to win Best B and C tier, it had to win this award, right?
Yeah. I didn't even realize this was a free agent, but it's definitely the most impactful one. I mean, the fact he picked this thing up halfway through the season and then it was number 9 in kills for the entire league is nuts.
Yeah, so nuts. It put in so much work. We've talked about it so much. And the fact that it was a free agent is just absolutely unbelievable. And that brings us towards, I don't know if it was the first week that it happened, but we have our best match of the season, and we have here the week 5, Belly Bolt's Reckoning. Germ played Kaylee this week, lost a tough game 1 set,
but then
Belly Bolt put the team on its back. If Belly Bolt put the team on its back, I mean, game 2, click Terra Ice, not even like the parabolic charge shenanigans, Terra Ice Belly Bolt, and it said 1 death, 2 death, 3 death, and then on turn 4 he clicked Thunderbolt.
He really mixed it up with that one.
Yeah, very very.
Kayla was
not every kill was Terry Blast,
Kill the Meowscarada next to it, like you think that's the big threat, but then the damage was already done.
Yeah, it was it was chalked at that point. And then
game 3 is when we saw the parabolic charge shenanigans, and Kaylee Terra stealed the Garchomp, and then we got to watch a Belly Bolt single-handedly obliterate a Garchomp, which I did not think I would see, and I was very pleasant. Well, I mean, I guess it beat the Garchomp the game before, but it didn't even Terra to beat it. It just clicked parabolic charge.
Yeah, we saw it nuke the Garchomp with Terra Ice Terra Blast, but then we actually witnessed Garchomp get nuked by electric moves.
And the best part about this game was, I mean, obviously, Ice is said to be the worst defensive typing, but then he used Terra Ice defensively to live Icicle Crash from Sneasel, and then Parabolic Charge all his health back. It was just fine demonstration of the great power of Belly Bolt.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great match. Arguably a great storyline. Arguably a great storyline,
but we all know that Belly Bolt was just a secret identity.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have
true hero of this season, the true MVP of this season that no one can take away from. You heard about it first on NDA Team. It was the assembling of the Spidops Squadron, the greatest team in the history of NDA. I'm talking Spidops, I'm talking Spidops, I'm talking Spidops, and I'm talking even Spidops, okay?
I can't believe this is an award. Back to back.
The people have spoken, Kevin, so you're in the wrong. This is democracy.
Back-to-back seasons, Germ has taken a bug specifically, that is, we had Ninjask Nation, right? Terrible Pokemon. Germ kept bringing it week after week. Formed a cult.
For the record, I want to say, he had much better performance with Spidops than Ninjask.
Oh, 100%.
I'm a firm believer in Ninjask Nation, but the Spidops Squadron truly has ascended.
It was more of Germ's resilience to just keep bringing the Ninjask every week.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, I guess a similar thing took place this season with the Spidops. I definitely fought the movement. I tried my best, everyone.
But you failed.
I was overruled. We all know at the end of the day,
Squadron will always reign supreme.
We know at the end of the day that this Pokemon is
incredible.
Mid is generous if I say it's mid, but
don't even go there, Kevin. You're just a non-believer. Someday you will see the light and be one with the Spidops.
I remember playing Germ in the last week of the season. He brought the Spidops against me, and I just remember sending into the podcast chat. It's probably one of the more recent things. Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here somewhere. And I said something about destroying the Spidops, and it was great fun. I forget.
It was terrible and blasphemous.
I exterminated that bug very quickly when we played. Right,
dark magic and witchcraft and cheating.
For the people.
Clearly not for the people, because the people stand in solidarity with Spidops. So, big shout outs to the Spidops Squadron. Best story of the season.
Feels bad. We got a little tandem vote right here too. We have the return this season of the biggest button clicker. A vote of an award that I created to, I guess, mostly shame Justin. That was the purpose.
That was the original intention. Then it branched out to anyone who ever used Whimsicott.
Yes,
which only included me and Wex.
And then, Justin kind of did the same thing with Meowstic, but we won't go there. Now this season we opened it up to the same people, and we added Swamp. It was maybe controversial. People wanted some other people, like Gummy, who clicked Garchomp buttons all season.
Armadidi is much more button clickery, though.
Yeah, Swamp clicking Indeedee Armarouge buttons really added him to the already long line of button clickers. But Swamp didn't win this award, surprisingly.
It was a tough fight. It was a very narrow.
It came down to the final person voting.
Narrow vote.
But Will, you are our biggest button clicker this season. How do you feel about that? Are you proud?
All right. Here's my argument, though. Did I click buttons with Garganacl? Yes. But I at least clicked 4 different buttons. I clicked Recover, Salt Cure, Body Press, and I can't even remember the last one. Okay, yeah, I clicked a lot of buttons. I clicked buttons.
Oh my! Wait, breaking news! Breaking news in the NDA podcast. Our off season is currently going on. And,
oh my!
Gummy brought Spidops.
Let's go, Gummy! Gummy knows.
Damn it, dude!
If you have a chance to bring Spidops in this off season and you don't bring Spidops, I think you should just forfeit. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. So Wex, just I see you playing right now. I don't see Spidops. Wex, just forfeit already. All right, just
might as well, dude.
Shame. All right, let's get to the last couple here.
I guess biggest button clicker is it's a big award because we had our Coach of the Season award, and coincidentally, he may or may not have won the league or something, but he is joined with me as well. Our Coach of the Season, rightfully so, the winner of the NDA Scarlet Violet Season 1, is your boy, Will.
I thought I was gonna say careful there. You know what? Your boy may did end up with a better record than me. So
yeah. I was like, yeah. Not actual your boy.
But we love you, your boy.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
Yeah, I mean, Will, you popped off, bro. What happened? Ever since you're a singles player, bro. You're not supposed to be popping off like this,
bro. I drafted a giraffe.
I guess
I don't know what else you expected.
You are just busted at draft league in general, no matter the format. That's fair. That is fair. Your team is always crazy.
When in giraffe we trust. Wex, I hope you put on that. At this point in the podcast, you put on that image where you accidentally gave my whole championship team just the giraffe sprite.
That was so
and
funny.
That's giraffes and salt, and we take those.
We do take those. rightfully earned. I think you had an incredible season. The draft is crazy.
I don't want to undersell the rest of my team. I was all of my mons put in work at some point in the season. Even Skip Bloom.
God damn it. So fair enough. Will is our rightfully so coach of the season.
Thanks, guys.
Our most valuable Pokemon, or MVP. Again, this was voted by the people, so not just like based on statistics, but maybe they base their votes on statistics. We have, I would say, Gummy's Garchomp was definitely the most valuable of the Garchomps, but as a whole, both
Garchomps were incredible.
Yeah, Garchomp is our MVP, and maybe you say Gummies, maybe just Garchomp in general, but it put in work this season.
Definitely a menace.
The Series 1 draft, it's like, Terra Ground, Earthquake, it hurts. So
made Cynthia very proud.
Yes, Gummy did make Cynthia, and Kaylee made Cynthia very proud.
Yes.
Garchomp is a demon. And rightfully so, the MVP. And our last award of the season, if it was
very fitting. The last award and the last Mon standing at the end of many games, including the last game of the season. We got the big pile of salty rocks.
Is your
Garganackle.
DPOY or defensive Pokemon of the season? All I can say is fair enough.
It couldn't. I did completely. I mean, obviously, I'm biased, but even if I was to look at this subjectively, I don't think you couldn't say Garg. Like, it's Garg.
Also, another side note: Dracovish just one-shot a Terra Fairy T-Tar with Fish's Friend.
It is Draco. Oh, yep, I'm seeing that.
That's insane. Anyway, Garg is our defensive wall for the season, rightfully so. Well, you cleaned up these awards, brother.
I did. I had a good season. I can kick back and relax now.
Yeah, now the off season's just for memes, just for funsies.
And
although you do have an off season title to your name to maybe reclaim, but
I could. I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's more for the funsies, like bringing fucking Spidops and Roselia. Oh my god, damn it. But yeah, that concludes our NDA awards for the season. Congrats to everyone involved. Congrats to every coach. We had a remarkable season. It was a lot of fun kicking off Scarlet and Violet together. It was a good time. We are currently in our off season, which is the Malamar games. And we will have a season 2 on the horizon, which I'm very, very excited for. Some changes happening. Going to be fun and competitive, and I think just overall going to be really fun. So, yeah. That concludes the awards. Thank you again, Will, for joining me, and congrats once again.
Thank you for having me.
It was lots of fun.
I had it was overall a really fun season. I'm really enjoying Scarlet and Violet. I don't know. I think it's a very fun, competitive format right now.
100%. Terrestrialization has won me over.
Terra has really grown on me.
Yeah, I was a big supporter of the Dynamax.
I was not huge on Dynamax, but Terra. I feel like Terra grew. It kind of grew on me in doubles, but I think Terra is just. I don't know. I like it. I have fun. I think it's fun to just mess around with types and surprise people. So.
Very true. Very true. Well, that concludes the awards. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more on the way. And yeah, that concludes the awards. Thanks for having me and Will. Peace.
See ya.